Welcome back to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only station giving you double the information and inspiration. Thank you for tuning in on iHeartRadio and TuneIn app. You're listening to Z Views. I'm your host, Z Andrea Vishanti, and today we had a special guest, Valencia Williams, travel extraordinaire. We're talking about our hometown jewels and our love of travel and how our hometown actually help instill that love of travel. Growing up, I was from Columbus, Georgia, but my mom was military. She had no problem hopping in the car and going on a day trip anywhere. So that's been my lifestyle. Like, if it's driving distance, it's doable. We can go. And so it's not always about passports and jet setting. If we can hop in the car and go, we can go. But my mom now, she's always ready to fly. But when I was a kid, she would not fly anywhere. She made my stepdad come pick her up from Biloxi. She was supposed to fly in. She was like, nope, not flying now. Now she got enough meds to fly anywhere. Oh, but we're not going to talk about my mama. So just how did growing up with that type of lifestyle influence your travel today?
Well, growing up in Dover, well, I can say this, because we were so close to everything. Like you said, we can get in the car, jump in the car and take a road trip. And people don't do that nowadays. I mean, except for my husband and I, we love a road trip. And because we're entrepreneurs, we don't have to worry about hurrying up, getting back to, the life of going to work. So that's a good thing. But when I was growing up, we would get in the car. My mom, we had a Lincoln Town car. We had and she would just pack us up in the middle of the night and say, hey, we're going to Grandma's house, and we'll drive down to Georgia, or we drive to Tampa, Florida, where my other grandmother was. We drive everywhere. So going to those different places really, really helped me out. And we lived in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and that was around a lot of places too, because we could get to King's Dominion, and people don't really talk about King's Dominion anymore. But we can get to King's Dominion and all of that stuff. Actually, 95 is the most exciting expressway to travel on.
Yes.
Because do you remember south of the border? It's not there anymore.
It's there. It's just never bright or lit up. I was sad because when I first moved to Columbia, it was flooded. So I was just, oh my goodness, how are they going to recover from that? But I remember just driving through South Carolina and it was like, wow. But like when I lived in Jersey, Six Flags was right there. Most of my classmates worked at Six Flags. But living in Columbus, Six Flags was, we get to go to Six Flags. It was a big deal. But in Jersey, my very first date was to Six Flags. And I thought it was a big deal. And everybody else was like, oh, y'all just going to Six Flags? I'm like, wait a minute. Okay. So that's how you adjust your attitudes when living in different places. So what has been your favorite city to live in?
My favorite city to live in was Atlanta, Georgia, but I won't move back there.
Oh, okay. You're not going back. Atlanta is full, y'all. Don't go to Atlanta and say, never mind. We ain't going to Atlanta shame, Miami shame. No.
No, it is a really good place for me to visit. I love to visit. But I just will not move there. Actually, Columbia has grown on me so much. Which is why I settled down. Man, look, it is so much more to do in Columbia than I ever knew about. When my mom moved here, I was like, Mom, why did you move to Columbia? Columbia is so, but then I was like, okay, when I moved here, because of her, I moved here, and all of the festivals, there's a festival for everything. As soon as it gets warm in Columbia, you best believe that.
Yes.
It's going to be a festival somewhere.
So famously hot Columbia, that's home for us. I've lived in Columbia for 5 years, and my top 5 things to do in Columbia, you can find a farmer's market anywhere on any day in like any neighborhood. That's probably a big thing because I was so budget conscious. I was trying to buy local. So Settle City Market, that's every Saturday. We have First Thursdays on Main where you can go to visit different restaurants and the museum. You can get in the museum on First Thursdays and free. I actually got to see Van Gogh there, which was dope. What else? Anytime I have a visitor, I take them to the Riverwalk, just take pictures. It's very photo friendly. I have a whole IG tour. You can go on my Instagram, Zeev Travels, to actually go check that out, and follow me on Twitter, so we can talk about the top 10s on top 10 things to do in Colombia. It's you gotta look for stuff. You gotta go to Meetup, Facebook events, but if you look, it's generally there. You don't have to spend money to be a hometown tourist. You can actually just go and do and enjoy stuff for free. One of my favorite spots is Divine Street. You can go to Gervais Street or Main Street and take pictures. Rosewood, actually, if you ever drove down Rosewood, it's like our own little Wynwood. I love Wynwood in Miami, but we have murals and stuff all over the place. But yeah, so that's my hometown jewel, from Columbus to Columbia and everything in between. You're listening to Z Views. Thank you for listening to WDRB Media, the voice of the community, the only place you can get double the inspiration and information, the voice of the community. Thank you.